Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Virtual Man Cave channel, station, network. You know the routine. We don't know what we're going to call it yet, but when we do, we'll let you know. But tonight, we got another amazing episode of MLB with Nate the Great, yo. Yo, my good brother, man. How you feeling tonight, Nate?
Doing good, chilling and maintaining. How's everyone doing? How you doing?
Yeah, I can't complain, man. It's another beautiful, blessed day. I'm enjoying my last Thursday before I go back to work, yo. You know.
Right.
Got to go back a week before the kids get back, and then we get situated and get the school ready. Get it tidied up, stuff's in order, make it look beautiful. So when the kids come in, they have a wonderful school year. You know. So yeah,
True
that's
indeed.
what I got going on.
True indeed. Yeah, everybody going back to school now. Starting to see it out here too as well. Seeing more school buses on the road more and more.
Man, it's crazy how in different states how kids go back to school early. Like the times they go back. I feel bad for kids going back now, but because I'm like it's still hot outside. But in Texas, it stay hot all year long. Man. It's
And
just hot.
California, they go back to some kids go back to school in July. They get like a month out of school, but they get a lot of time off during the school year. Like they might like their Christmas vacations are like 3 hours. I mean 3 weeks instead of two.
Okay. I
So they
mean,
get
well,
so they get like a month and a half out of school most for the summertime.
ain't nothing wrong with kids going to school because we got to learn. We want to we want the next scholars, the next group of kids to be scholars and come out wonderful, so that they can produce and become wonderful citizens of America. Yeah, you know what I mean. The greatest country in the world, who has the greatest game in the world, known as baseball. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like who's better than baseball? Yeah, but real quick, just to let you guys know, man, certain other things that we got going on with the program and the station and the network that we call the Virtual Man Cave. On Monday nights, we have moments with Unc. You know what I mean? Remember, he said we don't have to do it when we do the promo. We can just say it. That's 9:30. That is Monday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Please tap in and tune in. Then on Wednesdays, we have the Health and Wellness Podcast with Arthur Sobers, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's a good way just to come out. You learn how to stay fit, stay active. You know what I'm saying? When you're over the age of 40. As you can see tonight, we are back on Thursdays with the MLB Weekly Rundown with Nate the Great. Then, of course, on Saturdays, we get the whole crew. You know what I'm saying? We get me, Model Citizen J from around the way. You see Nathan Great. We got the Panamanian Professor. You know what I'm saying? Arthur Sobers. D. Rigger, a.k.a. Unc. Leo the Superhero. You know what I mean? We got Troy the Chef. And we got the Mayor Corey. You know what I'm saying? That's every Saturday at 10 o'clock, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Please tap in and tune in. So now that we got that out the way, Nate, you know how we do, man. We always start the show off with a recap of last week's games. So now I just want to let the people know out here, I personally do not watch the videos that Nate sends. So it's also a natural reaction for me. I know he sends some wonderful videos. Sometimes I'll be scared because it might be some Mets slander and stuff like that. And I only call it slander because I'm a Mets fan. Nate is non-biased at times, except when I talk about the Mets, and then all of a sudden he becomes a Mets hater. But you'll see. You might see it later on in the show. But tonight, let's see what Nate picked for the first video. What we got. And Nate, you can stop me anytime if you think I'm lying, if I'm telling a lie.
The 1-2. There's a swing, and that one, if it stays fair, ends it. Fair ball. And the Rangers win it in the 10th. The 1-2. There's a swing, and that one, if it stays fair, ends it. Fair ball. And the
Nate, how did that game end just like that?
Oh, it was the bottom of the ninth. So in baseball, if the game is tied and you go into the bottom of the ninth inning, After anything after that, all bottom innings, the home team, if they go ahead at the bottom of that inning after from the ninth inning on, that's the end of the game.
Okay, got you. Yeah, what up,
Yeah, there's
Art?
no. What up, Art?
What's up?
Ain't much. You over here coming in tired already, just yawning, eating something. You just looking like, you know what I'm saying, you just a middle-aged man chilling in life, yo. Arthur came on like life is good, kid. I'm yawning, I'm eating, I'm chilling. I like that. I like the Mets colors you got on, my brother. I like that. It's beautiful.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You don't do what? I'm just acknowledging. I got on a dingy white T-shirt. You know what I mean? I just came in, but that's a beautiful Mets shirt.
You know what the shirt says.
We don't talk about that sport on this program. So we just acknowledge what colors it is. You know, those are Mets colors. But nah, that was a great hit though. You know what I'm saying, by the homie. He made it to the track, and I guess he had that was an RBI because his homie came home.
Yeah. It was a walk off RBI single.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got next right here. What's going on?
Yeah, I think it's pitch timer. And Contreras, deep left center, gone. Yeah, I think it's pitch timer.
Yo, my boy sent that. So, what was that play about? What do they mean by a pitch timer? What, there was a pitch timer violation?
Yeah, so it was a pitch violation on the Mets. So that allowed Wilson Contreras to get another chance to come up, and as they said, he didn't miss. So the second chance up, he came and he hit a home run off of he hit a home run against the Mets. You know, because like I said, they had a great series last week, the Mets and the Milwaukee Brewers. Which the Brewers did win that series against the Mets, sweeping that series. Brewers are the hottest team right now. They just yesterday after they win, they have won 12 straight in a row. They've since July 5th they've been 27-4. They went from being down 6 games in their division to now they're up. The Cubs were before that time in July. The Cubs were up 6 games, but now the Cubs are down in 3rd place in the division.
I mean, yeah, whatever. It was an eye hit. We ain't gonna brag about it, you know. I mean, I felt like you just kept saying the Mets like intentionally. Like you just could have said he hit a home run, he did this, but you kept intentionally saying the Mets. Like you gave out mad extra information talking about they swept the Mets and like, come on, bro.
As you'll see through the night, ladies and gentlemen, the violin will be played many times throughout these highlights.
Why we gotta do all of that? Like, and the Mets. Like you just had to say he just, you know, you did say it was a good series. I appreciate that. You could have left it at that. You could have said they won the series. You didn't have to say they got swept. Like, come on, bro. Like,
ladies and gentlemen, just pay attention as we go through the highlights and see the difference in videos. You'll see the difference in bias.
Yo, that was mad personal, bro. Like, see what I mean? That's why I'm glad I said it at the beginning of the show. And I'm even wearing Yankees colors right now, bro. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
Look, this is a navy blue hat. This is navy blue.
It looks black to me.
T-shirt.
Right.
It's navy blue. It's navy blue.
You look more like you're a White Sox fan.
Not even, man.
Urshela back to Keegan. Looked like he surprised himself. Well, ideally, you'd like to be.
Yo, so you showed us a play like that last week. There was something similar to that, a highlight. So I guess that's kind of common in the MLB. Pitchers, you know, making miraculous plays like that.
I mean, a lot of times it's just the pitcher trying to get out of the way. And you just throw your glove. Now, some pitchers have good reflexes. Others at times, you know, you're not going to be able to respond that fast. You want to kind of get out the way, but you still want to maybe put your glove out there because you never know what might happen.
Nah, he put his glove back there to balance himself. Like, don't hit me, hit the glove. But nah, that was dope though. Got to give him props for that. As long as it's not against the Mets, you know what I'm saying? Like, then it's
The
cool.
last thing The last thing you want to do is get hit by one of those baseballs coming back at you at 110 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be a good look. I don't think you appreciate that, especially if you get popped in the ankle. You don't want to get popped in the foot.
Cal blisters this out to right field. He has homered. Cal Raleigh's 45th home run this year. He has tied the one and only Johnny Bench, the second most home runs in a single season by a catcher in baseball history. The year of Cal Raleigh will not stop.
All right. We see you, Cal. So what was the pitcher? What was the other player that he tied? What was his name?
Johnny Dench, real old school,
Dench. Okay.
from back in the days.
Now I was just making sure I heard correctly because I thought I heard something else. You know.
No. The Kyle Raleigh leading the league period with home runs with 45. He leads the league. The rounding out that top five is Shohei Ohtani at second with 43. Kyle Schwarber third of Philadelphia. Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers, with 43 at second. Third is Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies at 42. Aaron Judge of the Yankees is fourth with 38. And Eugenio Suarez of the Seattle Mariners rounds it out at fifth with 37.
Okay.
And now Smith with a ground ball. That's a base hit. They're going to weave the runner home around third. Trammell's coming to the plate. Bellinger with a great arm. Fires a strike.
Ooh, he's safe, man.
Trammell.
No, he's out.
Oh, he was out.
Nah, he's safe.
I ain't going for it. He was out. He was out.
Nah, he didn't touch him.
He was hit hard on the ground. Nah, he's out.
And now Smith with a ground ball. That's a base
Not
hit.
even a Yankee
They're going to
fan.
weave the runner home
Like
around
that.
third.
But I ain't even going front. He was out.
They challenged it, but he was out.
He was out.
He got him. He got him before his hand slid in.
Yeah, but whatever though. That was whatever. Whatever. I mean, what I'm saying, you just showing beautiful highlights of the Yankees and stuff like that, and you just went on a whole soliloquy about how my Mets got swept, and you was bigging up the other team and how they the hottest team right now. They beat my Mets and all that other good stuff. And I see how you do, Nate.
Okay, I remember that as the highlights continue. I remember that.
But you non-biased though, my good brother.
Another 2-2 pitch. That is a rifle into right field toward the corner. Ohtani is going to have extra bases. This depends on how many. He wants 3. Here's the throw. It's Lee. Leadoff triple. Shohei Ohtani. On a 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Started the game with a leadoff triple. Goes to the mound and begins his outing with a punch out.
Other shoulder blade.
Another 2-2 pitch. That is a rifle into right field toward the corner. Ohtani is going to.
Okay. Ohtani was swinging his back.
Yeah, he sent another home run against his former team, the Los Angeles Angels, while also striking out a few batters during the bottom half of that first. That's the longest pitching he's done this season, but he went 5 innings yesterday. He actually struck out his former teammate Mike Trout twice in yesterday's game, which is kind of like they brought it back to the World Cup about a few years ago when Japan defeated the United States, and the game ended with Ohtani striking out Mike Trout for the Japan winning the World Cup. The Dodgers did lose that game though, as they lost the series to the Angels in the Battle of the Freeway Series. They actually was swept by the Angels. 6 games, all 6 games they lost to the Angels. 3 at Dodger Stadium and 3 in Anaheim.
All right, ain't too bad. So how many innings do you think they're gonna have Ohtani start pitching?
Well, I think they're still they're still monitoring it because this is only like maybe his fifth or sixth start. They don't want to. They want because this is a long time investment. This is your $700+ million guy. So you don't want to. You want to make sure he's healthy for the playoffs. So they've been kind of managing his pitching right now for about 4 innings. Because again, it's a lot of work with him pitching and then still going out and hitting at the same time. The main
Yeah,
thing,
no.
which I've said before in the past, is you're going to have to see how you're going to handle that going in the long run. Because when you pitch, and if you throw more than a certain amount of pitches a game, usually that pitcher gets the next day off, at least a day or two off. And then being that he is a hitter as well, now you got him hitting the next day right after he just hit. That was an issue that was problem with the Angels because they wanted him to play the next day, but yet Joe Madden, who was coaching at the time, were like, no, he needs to rest, and eventually led to Madden being exited out from the Angels as well.
So let me ask: when he's not pitching, what position does he play?
Oh, he's a designated hitter.
Oh, okay, got you. Gotcha.
But
Makes
even the smallest things in swinging can put more wear and tear on your arms. Like going to the batting cage when I've gone sometimes, even I haven't been in a little while, but the batting cage out here that I go to, I'll go out there, get about 12 tokens. Each token has nine pitches per token. That's 108 altogether. I'll do that, or sometimes I get 24 tokens and I'll use them all up in one session,
Yeah, you
and that
don't do
puts
that for
wear.
the rest of the day.
Yeah, you'll feel the burn on your arms and stuff. And no, I didn't do it today, but you'll feel the burn on your arms, and after a while, it does take some toll. So you need to pace yourself throughout that too. So same thing when you're pitching and you're throwing at high velocity for 5, 6 innings, 7 innings, and then you want to still come out and you're hitting in that game. Then the next day, you don't even give your arm a day's rest. So we'll see how
Yeah,
the Dodgers manage that.
that's a lot of stress right there.
The
Yeah.
pitch. Scalded down the line. Gone! Shohei Ohtani is inevitable.
Yeah, that's great.
The 1-0 pitch.
Yeah. So, any of his, those are all his former teammates and stuff like that, or it's just his former team?
Oh, this is former teammates because excuse me. This is only his second season with the Dodgers.
Got you. Okay. So I was online somewhere. I forgot where I read it at. It might have been Instagram or Facebook. Yeah, homie's stats right now is almost identical and similar to Babe Ruth. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as from when he started, like the amount of time since Babe Ruth started to the amount of home runs that he's had, like it's almost identical. You know what I mean? Like he's putting up Babe Ruth numbers right now, yo. Do you think he might be able to surpass or a lot of the legends or break a lot of records, Joe?
I think he has a chance to break some of those records. I mean, records are meant to be broken anyway. Now, the thing about it is, I mean, you're always going to have those debates about, I just try to enjoy it for what it is, but you're always going to have those debates about, Ohtani being better than like Barry Bonds, that they'll say, but Ohtani's not getting the Barry treatment like Barry is getting, but I'm not going to get fully into that, but Barry will get up there and he might get one good pitch every 12, 15 at bat sometimes, as he started getting, as the more he was hitting those home runs. They're not doing that to Ohtani. The pitches are being thrown, and this is no slide against Ohtani. He's just a good player overall because even everybody knows he's a good player. Even Barry himself knows he's a good player. He's even said it, but it's a lot easier. I'm not gonna say it's easier to hit home runs. I'm just saying it's a lot easier to boost those stats up when they're not pitching around you as much either.
Right. Okay.
Because think about all the times they walked Barry Bonds, and especially them years that he led the league in walks. Take at least half of those and put it as him actually being thrown to.
Him being
You looking at him almost maybe having almost, and it may sound ridiculous number, almost 1,000 home runs.
You know what? For us, I mean, for now, people hear that who wasn't able to witness Barry Bonds play, they might say, "Oh, nah, he couldn't do that." But for us who watched Barry Bonds, I mean, I'm not even a baseball fan, but when Barry Bonds was playing, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, it was like during that era, you was locked in, like because they was swinging that bat like for real. Like, yo, it was amazing.
Barry broke the single season home run record and the walk record in the same season. How do you do that?
Dude, that is diabolical right there. Like,
Yeah, that's a different type of level where when you're a batter and somebody and you already have the bases loaded, but you decide to walk Barry with the bases loaded to get to pitch to the next person. So you allow one run to come in, so it's now a 1-run lead, but just so you don't pitch to him, you know.
that's the scariest thing is you're like, yo, listen, I'm not gonna take that gamble. I'd rather just give up 1 run instead of giving up 4 right now. Because my homie right here he's a 99 average home run hitter. We're not doing it.
Yeah, I saw his post on said Ken Griffey was better than Barry Bonds. No argument. I just commented, bruh, really? And kept moving.
I think he was the closest. Had he not had injuries, he would have been the closest to as far as the home run record, maybe. If Ken Griffey Jr. would have never got hurt. But I still think Barry overall was a better hitter. Overall, he was a better hitter. Griffey was a better outfielder than him.
And I do believe they had 2 different mentalities. Barry was gonna hit that home run. Barry was he was looking to hit the home run. Ken Griffey Jr. said it in an interview. He was like, "Yo, it's baseball. I'm gonna hit a line drive and get on base. If I so happen to hit a home run, then I'm gonna hit a home run." He was like, "I know, the amount of feet and the amount of power it takes, but it's a line drive. I'm just trying to hit a line drive each and every time so I can get on base. The name of the game is baseball." But like I do agree with you though, Nate. Had he not got injured, he would have been next in line, like right behind Barry. And it would have been that much of a difference though.
Yeah, he was right behind him, but Barry was still better.
Yeah, but you know who's better than both of them? Darryl Strawberry. End of story. I don't want to hear nothing. Let's watch the next highlight.
Little floater. Yandy has it twice to retire the side. Oh, back to the infield. Yandy batted it to himself.
Yep. Just catch the ball, man.
See, you try and be flabby or extra, you was almost on the bloopers reel.
It's all good as long as you catch it, it's all good. You might every now and then, depending on the coach, sometimes coach is like, "Hey, don't do that again." Good catch, don't do that again.
Yeah, you do that again, you're gonna be sitting over here next to me cleaning up. I'm gonna make you clean up the sunflower seed shells. Shoot.
Yeah.
You bugging. We got a game to win. You trying to make ESPN.
Nice to be tall, long arms. Popped up by Shea right side. Mayo is there-ish. Into the net. Kobe's got it.
Yeah.
Kobe Mayo leaned into the
net. I wonder if he would have tried that if the net wasn't there.
Yeah, you got players who would have. The net is just protection for the fans as well, but mainly for the fans because, you ever watch the games, a lot of fans are on their phones. I just don't see how you could be on your phones when you right on the third base, first base line, and somebody's hitting the screaming line drive down first base, but you in your phone.
You know why, Nate? Because the real fans are sitting all the way up in the nosebleeds. Let me not say the real fans, not in the nosebleeds, but they're sitting up high. Most people who are at the lower levels, I would say 40% of them are fans. The other 60% might be there because they got a free ticket or they just there for the ambiance. You know what I'm saying?
And out of that 60%, 30% of them keep their heads in their phone and they're gonna be in the ER.
Mm-hmm. Concussion.
I would even say more than that 30%. I say more close to like 50%. Looking down, not paying attention.
Yeah, baseball game is not where you want to be in your phone.
Nope.
You can do that when you up in the nosebleeds or whatever. You got time to see it coming in your direction or whatever. But not when you down there on the first baseline, third baseline. You need to keep your eyes. You keep your head on the swivel.
Like I remember, I was just recently because I go to a lot of minor league games and the stadiums. Some stadiums are really big, some stadiums are not. But the one we have out here, it's adequate size. It's a nice size. But I was out there and I was sitting on the first base line, a little bit higher up. Like we don't have level to our stadium, so everything is pretty much like ground level. Yeah, thank God I was paying attention watching the game because the guy hit a foul tip and the ball bounced like 3 rows in front of me. And you know how it ricochets and bounce back up? Had I been in my phone, that ball would have bumped me right in my head, but I was able to just put my hand up like this and it just went in my hand. I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I don't want to go to no baseball game and go home with a shiner. I don't think that's a good look.
Trust me, real baseballs, anyway, even the softballs don't feel good. But a real baseball, I've been hitting the ribs with one. Then I've been hitting the side of my head with a baseball bat too as well. A wooden baseball, not the aluminum ones. Neither of them feel good, trust me.
Yeah, that would have made me quit playing baseball right then and there. Like I'm out. Good. Like I ain't gonna front. I used to play Little League and I got hit by a pitch. Let's just say that ended my career playing baseball. Pop me right here. I said, yeah, I'm done.
I got hit in the back right here. And I was done. And the only reason reason it hit me there, because it curved on me at the last minute, because it was getting ready to hit me in my face. And and
they leave bruises.
No. You got to say they leave big bruises. All right? They leave a bruise twice the size of the baseball. Okay? That ain't no joke.
Line to short, caught by Ellie. De La Cruz fired to first. It's in time. Double play. Game over. An alert toss by De La Cruz as he cuts down Cruz, and the Reds win 2-1. Cincinnati gets off the schneid.
I mean, hit hard. Dallas, but right at De La Cruz, and he's the only one out there with the kind of arm to get the other Cruz, O'Neal Cruz, before he can get back to first
the
base.
batter was so mad. Yeah, he was discouraged at the end of that. He was like, really? He was like, I knew I just had me a single right there. But L.A. De La Cruz, man, doing what he do, yo.
Yeah, picking off O'Neal Cruz at first.
See, it was a Cruz thing.
Any of you guys ever umpire when you were younger? Uh-oh. That ball is deep, Profar, at the wall! He brought it back!
That's great. That was full extension right there.
That was superhuman. Watch how
looking like Papoose.
Over the
The
wall.
pitch is like, yo, thank you.
For Jerks and Profar, and there's that $1 million. Any of you guys ever umpire when you were younger?
Crazy.
That ball is deep.
But I don't know about catch of the year, though. We seen some amazing catches. I don't think that's the one, yo. That was dope. But my man who did the Spider-Man breakdance on top of the wall, tuck and roll with a half somersault twist, that was the best one, man. Son from the formerly from the Pirates, now on the Mets. You know what I'm saying? What was his name, Nate?
You talking about Cedric Mullins?
Yeah, son.
From the Orioles to the Mets?
That's what I said, right?
No, you said the Pirates.
I know, I said the Pirates. I know. Yeah, see, this is why he's Nate the Great, the MLB legend, and I'm just, model citizen J ad-libbing. Because, I get all the facts wrong. Let's see. But do you think that was the catch of the year?
I don't know. It can be a candidate. Denzel Clark, I think, still has the lead for best catch with the climb. Who did the Spider-Man climb up the wall against the Angels? So I think Denzel still is in the front runner as best catch of the year so far.
And didn't he have like 2 amazing catches like that?
He definitely did. He had about 2. He had 3 actually. He had one against Toronto. The one against Toronto just started it.
Yeah, because I remember we were seeing mad highlights of the young boy, yo. Man, them 3 catches was better than that one he did. than that one we just seen.
Yeah, unfortunately he's on the IL right now, so not sure if he'll be back this year, but he's on the IL currently for the Athletics.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
For the Oakland Athletics?
Yep.
Yeah, Nate's politically correct. I'm not. They always gonna be from Oakland.
I'm not even gonna correct you because until they leave California, you can technically still call them that because they only moved an hour up the road.
Listen, and even when they leave California, I'm still calling them the Oakland Athletics. If I ever go to a Oakland Athletics game, I'm gonna find an Oakland Athletics jersey to wear. I'm representing the real, the original. Shoot. Yeah, I'm moving to Vegas, man. Like Vegas need the jobs. Them people in Oakland for real. Like them people out there in Oakland need the jobs, yo. They need the revenue. They need the streaming income. Think about the hotels, the restaurants, and everybody else that's losing money out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because especially since that was the last professional team that they had left in that city.
Like I know I joke around a lot, and I play around, but if you look at the big picture, that just messed up the economy out there.
Yeah.
The Raiders is gone. You know, they going to Vegas like they needed a sports team out there. They could have created a team. Las Vegas Lasers, NFL, you know what I'm saying?
They got the hockey team now too, so.
And then the Warriors went across the bridge to San Francisco.
Oh, they moved back to San Fran?
Yeah.
So
when did that? I didn't even know that. I thought they were still in Oakland.
Nah, they last year, the year before was their first season in the new arena.
Yeah, they moved about to be they about to be hurting, man.
So just shout out to the people out there in Oakland, man. I hope y'all tough out there. Oakland Raiders, baby. That's what y'all do, man. Y'all tough. So y'all gonna bounce back. Somebody bring a sports team to Oakland, please, man. Please. If I had a couple of billion, we'd be out there. But I don't, so we ain't. I let Nate be my manager, yo. He run the team.
Oh, man. Guys would have crumbled. He did not. This one's hit hard in the air. Diving grab again. Riley Green, the magician. Unbelievable. Oh, man.
Oh.
He didn't look like he had a chance. Oh, man.
Yeah, we got to watch that again.
Guys would have crumbled. He did not. This one's hit hard in the air. Diving grab again.
He had a headache. Really.
Riley Green, the magician. Unbelievable. Oh, man.
Watch this.
Wow. He didn't look like.
That man got a concussion. That man got a straight stone cold concussion, yo. He had to take 2 Motrins. He went after the inning. Woo. Yeah, all right. What would you do if you saw your son do something like that, yo?
Well, I might have him checked out. He might sit the rest of the game.
You know what I'm saying? Like he make an amazing play like that, but he busts his whole snap box.
Yeah, he busted. Yeah, he. Well, I mean, you gotta check him first. If he's good, then yeah.
So
he definitely gonna have a headache.
Oh no, he's gonna have a headache for a couple of days. That thing hurt. Man. That was a dinger for real. So let me ask you, what as a sports parent, what kind of sports parent are you? Are you the one that sees their child, may get an injury, or you see a sketchy play? Are you the first one to get up and run out there immediately and see what's going on, or do you let the coach assess the moment and wait for the coach to call you in if necessary?
Well, I'm one of the coaches, so I'm always one of the coaches. So I go in. I go in objectively though. I don't go in with my heart on my sleeve. You know what I'm saying? I don't go in there looking concerned and nothing like that. Because if he see me concerned, he's gonna start getting worried.
Gotcha.
So I try to keep a cool head, keep a poker face, and then check him out, and then evaluate him from there.
Okay. I mean, me myself, I had a position, the honorable moment and situation to coach my son, but also be a spectator his first year when he played basketball. I was one of those. I'm gonna sit on the sideline and wait till the coach call me. I trust you, coach. I know you. So if it's real, you're gonna give me the. And then I know it's real. I'm a skedaddle. And
right.
Even as a coach, I may have been a little tough on my son in certain situations. Like, boy, get up, you all right? Come on, man, shake it up. Depending on how bad it is. But I mean, again, I'll tell all my players that. But I also told the parents, Mom, Dad, wait till I call you, because, like you said, Arthur, if you come rushing over there and you're emotional, your child is gonna get emotional. There's a difference between being hurt and being injured. If they injured, come get them. If they hurt, come on, we're gonna shake this off, because in life you're gonna get hurt. You gotta shake it off. All right. But I was just curious, as a coaching parent, as a coach, as a parent whose son's plays, what would you do? And after we show this video, what would you do if Quattro did this?
Helping the journey of the little white ball. Yep, no, I don't think it would have went out. I think you're right. I think that's probably a double if he doesn't touch it. Yeah, hits the webbing of the glove. Just so. Helping the journey of the little white ball.
So that's a good effort, though, man. I mean, you're not gonna catch everything, unfortunately. I'll be more at this age. I'm more happy with the effort versus the result. And how do you handle disappointment? That at his age, that's what I'm more worried about now. I mean, I think it was a good effort. That's how later tell you sometimes the ball, you do everything right. The ball just hits the tip of the glove.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, we gonna bring it back to what we just saw, and he's a professional, right? So that means he's been playing the game for over a decade, right? Over a decade, that man been playing, baseball. Bro, you supposed to know the timing, and you supposed to count your steps, and no, you jumped too early. You jumped too early, and you gave him a home run. I don't know. If I was the MLB, if I was his team, check what they call that? Dual fantasy duel or whatever. He might have been on a spread.
There you go.
He might be juking the stats. I don't know. I'm not saying he is. It's hypothetical. I'm making it all up, but you might want to look into it. But you probably shouldn't, because I don't think he did. Shoot, make a play like that, you're gonna be sweeping up sunflower seeds in a cup with a toothbrush. He gave up a home run, bro. Come on.
I mean, you comparing a 7-year-old to a professional though. So no.
I know. I was just asking you, what would you do to your son? I was just being funny. But with him as a professional, you sweeping up sunflower seeds in the whatchamacallit, bro, in the dugout. I ain't trying to hear all of that.
But what I did notice is sometimes you see the kids out there, the way they react. Sometimes a lot of it is from their parents, because sometimes when you see a kid act a certain way, when he don't get his way, or he do something wrong, or he pouts, just look in the crowd, or maybe sometimes look at the coach, and you see how he react too, and then you'll see where he get it from. He or she get it from. Because the coach doesn't. Sometimes some of these coaches don't show. They don't show any professionalism either.
At all. I've experienced that a few times.
Ball hit out to right center pretty sharply. Out Teodosio to the wall. He leaps up and he caught it. What a catch! Bryce Teodosio saves a home run.
Man.
Wow, what a play! We talk about a difference maker.
I mean, homie from the last video might want to call Brody right here to see how it's done, because that was perfect.
Yeah, and at the stakes of the game at that moment, it was a tight game. So that catch actually played a big part in the Angels being able to defeat the Dodgers that night.
Okay, I see the Angels have been on the highlights a lot lately. They've been doing their thing.
Yeah, they're playing a lot better than what people expected, and people thought they would be as bad as maybe say the Rockies or the White Sox or the Orioles. After Ohtani left.
Well, I guess they got that chip on the shoulder. They got something to prove.
And being that Mike Trout started the season off on the injured list as well. But shout out to Ron Washington, who had really got that team together, playing together, believing in themselves, and playing as a team. You know, still send prayers to him and hope that he's healed, he's recovering well with his health.
Yeah, I feel better. Ron, get back, man.
Did he catch that? He did catch it.
Oh no!
Wow.
Ball just wedges itself right in there.
Never seen that.
Yeah, I know. And then it almost squirted free, but able to glove it before it got to the turf. And that ball moving away, slider tap right. Oh, they right there.
Oh.
Yeah, that ball never got to the ground. You know?
Yeah,
He didn't catch it with his glove.
I'm not. He caught it with his rib, his hip and his rib, and his forearm. I ain't gonna front. I'm gonna tell the pitcher, "Hey, bro, you owe me a steak dinner, bro." No, I got a bruise. Again, I truly believe, you know, all the position in baseball comes with its own level of difficulty, right? But to be a catcher, I think that is probably the most difficult position in baseball. You know, you constantly on your knees for the whole game. You got mad equipment on you. You know what I mean? And somebody is sitting there for 9 innings throwing pitches faster than 90 miles per hour or faster than 85 miles per hour, 80 miles per hour on average. I'm good. If somebody steals second, I got to pop up, jump up, throw the ball. People running at home plate trying to kick me in the face with cleats on. I got the umpire bad breath on my neck, yo. Come on now, like shout out to the catchers, yo. It's real. It's real. You know, if there's a fight, listen. Like that's foul too, because if there's a fight, right, the catcher is automatically expected to get up and run down the batter if the batter runs to the mound. It's not fair. He got all that equipment on, and I got to get up and run because you made a mistake and hit somebody. Come on, bro. Shout out to the catchers, yo. Y'all might be my new favorite position on the field, yo. They be going through it.
Line to short, caught by Ellie. De La Cruz fired to first.
Oh, you can skip that one.
Play, game over. An alert.
I didn't get a chance to go over it. I didn't get a chance to go over to make sure I didn't send duplicates.
Yeah, that should have been the play of the week right there.
I mean, that might be the play of the year right there. One of the candidate for play of the year. That was pretty amazing. It was so nice. We had to see it twice, y'all. We don't make mistakes around here.
Broken back, little flare. That could mean a run. Wave is on. A challenge for Marsh. From left center to the plate. To Toro. Off Real Muto's glove. A score. Marte to third. Fire by Sanchez. Gets away. He gives another run.
I gotta see that again.
Broken back, little flare. That could mean a run. Wave is on. A challenge for Marsh. From left center to the plate. To Toro. Off Real Muto's glove.
Right there, you just pick the ball up and hold it. You don't try to.
Sanchez gets away. He gives another run.
When you throw it to the pitcher to stop the play. Come on, man. Because everything is wild and out of control. What you think, Nate?
That was basically that's basically what I see every time I go to my nephew's games. inside the park, that's a little league home run, really. That's exactly what that was, a little league home run.
Grown men playing like they in little league.
Because in the little leagues, like Arthur's saying, they'll tell them to throw it to the pitcher. Now, whoever had the ball should have just called time, held on to it, let him get the third. 9 out of 10 at that speed that you were going. It was going to be a tough play at third base. I would have just called time, let him stay on third, and you go from there. But it happens. Sometimes as a player, you feel like you can make that throw. And I've been in that situation as like when you talk about the catcher. That's why I didn't even say anything, because as a former catcher as well, I hated that position at first because I was like, man, I want to be out there in the second base or third or first, but I got the like the back catcher position. But sometimes when you're picking off a play and throwing somebody out at another base, the one thing going through your head is don't overthrow, don't overthrow, and sometimes you end up doing it. I mean, I know when I would throw, I threw a guy to second base. I swore I had sailed it, but I didn't. Luckily, thankfully, and then I threw a guy who tried to advance from first to second. After one of their teammates scored at home, I did the same thing to a guy at third base. Threw him out at third as well, but it's nerve wracking. But you got to know when to. Sometimes you got to just say hold it and just not try to make that play.
Yep, you know what my recommendation is, right? Sunflower seeds in the dugout, bro. You sweep it. You don't make plays like that. You're supposed to know better. You're a professional. You're supposed to be able to control your emotions in the moment. But hey, I'm not a professional, you know.
Lined up to middle. Nettles got it. Steps on second. Throw to first. It's a triple play.
Wow. You got tagged out and you fell. That's
Lined up
foul.
to middle. Nettles got it. Steps on second. Throw to first. It's a triple play.
Yo, that was mad funny.
Like a triple play, which doesn't happen. It can happen, but it doesn't happen. Everything has to fall in place for that to happen. I remember the first time I ever seen a triple play in my life really actually was when I was playing Little League, and my shortstop, my cohort in the infield, I actually had to play catcher that day. I saw a line drive go his way. He caught the ball, ran to second, tagged second, and then threw it to first to make the third out. Almost similar the same way. And that was the first time I ever saw a triple play at all. And then I saw it actually in baseball later on in my years.
Yeah, that's kind of dope, yo. Triple play.
Mason Englert and
Slurve. And I asked Salvador Perez, I'm just going to press slider. I'm going to
look at all those pitches.
Number 15. Pitch number 17. A soft little loop. Can it find some pasture? No. Hassan Kim, but J.P. Crawford. A 17 pitch at
to pop out.
He did all of that.
Okay.
Man, I'm subbing him and the pitch out. Both of y'all gonna sit down.
I shared that just to see show how sometimes a sequence can be and how you have to stay locked in during it. How sometimes the 17 pitches as a pitcher, it's got to be exhausting because you're like, man, what can I do to get this guy out? And you keep throwing everything. You try to throw it every sort of way, but he still keeps making contact. As a batter, you're going through your head thinking as you're hitting, you got to think, what is he going to throw me next? What is he going to throw? Now you're just trying to, especially when it's 2 outs, you're just trying to protect the plate and make contact. You don't want to get caught with the bat on your shoulders. Sometimes you may not believe it, Jay. Sometimes it's actually a win in the long run because if you take him 17 pitches at bat, the next time up 9 out of 10, you kind of have a rhythm or pattern on how he's pitching, and you actually you can come up with a better hit. A good batter adjusts to how from what their last at bat was.
No, I'm just saying, I'll just get frustrated and be like, come on, man. I'm just gonna pour it straight down the middle, just swing. And I just started laughing because I had read the comment. It was like, damn it, Arthur, I'm getting an urge for an orange now. So it was just a mad random comment that I just happened to see. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to laugh so hard. My bad, Arthur. I wasn't laughing at you. I was just laughing at the comment. Nah, because you the fitness guru. You ain't gonna punch me in my face.
Fly ball deep center field. Harris back to the warning track at the wall. It's out of here.
So the 2-run homer is 29th, and the Mets have a 5-0 lead in the second inning.
Beautiful apple, boy. It's a beautiful jersey. Such a wonderful stadium.
Fly ball deep center field. Harris back to the warning track at the wall. It's out of here! Great catch. One solo 2-run homer is 29th, and the Mets have a 5-0 lead in the second inning.
Look at that apple. I like the way that looks like him on the Mets, the East. Look at the thing. Wow, that was beautiful.
Is Juan Soto continuing to rake? Soto's been raking over the last week or so too. He's been he seems like he's getting in that home run stride. A lot of fans, remember at the beginning of the season they were, he wasn't showing what they thought they paid for. But I was like, just give it time for him to adjust. On the Mets, of course, when he first started with the Mets, he was getting and it's not saying he was, but he was getting that Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, all the big hitters. He was getting their treatment where they were pitching around him, and he wasn't used to that at first because the year before he was able to get his stats off because they were trying to pitch around Aaron Judge. Now he's getting that treatment, so it benefited guys like Lindor and Pete Alonso and everybody else behind Soto in that lineup. But now, he's getting the pitches and he's making the best out of the pitches that he is getting, and he's playing right now offensively. He's playing lights out.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. Especially for it to be the second to last highlight that we showed. That was dope. That's how you end it. But this is another great one right here. A little lighthearted. Oh, sorry.
3 balls and a strike. He knows all the rules. He's got the syllabus memorized. The pitch. Check swing. And Tucker now a full count. Line to left. Right at Burleson. McGravy has 3 scoreless innings. Hey, that young man.
Kid.
Yeah.
3 balls and a strike.
That's cool. Right there.
Kids are watching. They're always watching. From the players all the way down to the umpires, they're watching.
Yeah, that is dope. And shout out to whoever that kid's parents is for doing that for him. Buying him the whole outfit and making him look like an ump, and even purchasing the tickets to where he could be that close to the game and he can make the calls and he can see what's up going on. Shout out to his parents, yo. You know what I'm saying, for investing into their child, yo. But Nate, that was dope, man. Thank you for that wonderful recap of last week's games, for the highlights, letting us know what was going on. As always, I'm saying that's one of my favorite segments because I get to talk, my talk when I see the Mets up there. Shout out to my boy Juan, and let's make sure we don't lose any more series, yo, because I don't want to hear Nate talk about that stuff anymore.
You see, I just gave a compliment, and then I still get a backhand after that.
I mean, no, I did say thank you because you found the highlight, but I don't want to hear you talking bad, so I need the Mets to play better. That's all. It was no jab at you, none whatsoever. It was more of a motivational speech to my Mets, yo.
Well, they just got to stay atop with the Phillies. That's the main thing is don't fall too far out of that first place contention, because you don't want to have to rely on that wild card, even though they've shown before they can make it to the wild card. If they can win that division.
Now, do you think they're gonna they're in a potential spot for the wild card?
Oh, they are, but they also, because now they've fallen 5 games out of the division lead right now, with Philly up 5 games because the Mets did lose tonight to Atlanta. So Philly, but luckily Philly did lose to Washington tonight as well. So it's still a tight race. You still got September, and they're going to play each other near the end of the season, as always. So that's when it's going to get real close. Right now, the Mets have the third wild card spot right now, with the Cubs and the Dodgers having owning the first two wild card spots in the National League. So the Mets do have the Cincinnati Reds right on their heels. That's half a game out, but you also got the Cardinals still in it 3.5 out, and Arizona's 4.5 out. San Francisco, even though their season been up and down and they're under 500 right now, they're only 5 games out as well. And even the Marlins, but I don't think the Marlins are going to make that push. But Mets need to try to hold on to that if possible. Like I said, win the division. At all, if all else fails, win the division first. That way you don't have to worry about that wild card seeding.
All right. Well, you know what? That's what we got to do. The Mets is going. That's it. This is what we do. We win divisions, yo. You know what I'm saying? We all the way. That's it. We just amazing. We're gonna leave it at that.
And in the meantime, to give an update for tonight's games, there was only a few games on tonight. The Baltimore Orioles defeated the Seattle Mariners 5-3. Logan Evans took the loss for that game tonight. And that's the beginning of their series that they're playing. Excuse me. For the stats as goes, the Baltimore Orioles, Tyler Seguno got the win, 5 innings pitched, with 2 strikeouts. For stats, we've got key stats that stood out. Ryan Mountcastle. Ryan Mountcastle. I'm just kind of breezing through these. I was trying to give a little bit, but it's not much to give on that. But either way, for the Toronto Blue Jays, they defeated the Chicago Cubs 2-1. The Cleveland Guardians defeated the Miami Marlins 9-4. Then we had the Washington Nationals, as I stated, beating the Philadelphia Phillies 3-2 tonight. The Atlanta Braves defeated the Mets 4-3 to finish their series, their 4-game series. The Detroit Tigers defeated the Minnesota Twins 4-3 tonight, and the Arizona Diamondbacks defeated the Colorado Rockies 8-2. And those are your scores for tonight's games.
Nice. Thank you for that. For the intro to the MLB news and about giving us the update of the scores and whatnot. I have the first video that you sent me for the news topic. So I'm going to go ahead and let it play. Then after you play it, Nate, give us the breakdown rundown.
4, 3, 2, 1. National Baseball Hall of Famer number 51, Ichiro Suzuki.
Yeah, it's crazy. Son don't even look like he a baseball player, yo.
Yeah, you can play the next one because it's all tied in together.
Got you.
We will build a statue in honor of Ichiro Suzuki. Congratulations, Ichiro. We will build a...
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man, to get a statue in it, you know what I'm saying? In that. They ain't got do they have a statue of Ken Griffey Jr.?
Yeah. I was gonna bring that in. Ichiro's well-deserved honor by the Seattle Mariners. course, number 51 was always known for 9 years from 80. If you counted between 1989 and 98, the only number 51 you ever thought would ever wear that number was Randy Johnson. But Randy Johnson did give his consent when Ichiro joined the major leagues in 2001. It was with the Mariners that he could wear 51, and Ichiro more than lived up to the expectations. So next in 2026, Ichiro's statue will be revealed. He'll go next to excuse me. He'll go right next to other Mariner legends as Ken Griffey Jr. and Edgar Martinez. So it's well deserved for Ichiro Suzuki on a phenomenal, great career, not only in the major leagues as well as in his native home of Japan.
Nice. When did he get drafted to the league?
In 2001, he came through.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and for him to hit more than 3,000 in both the leagues, in Japan and in the majors.
He a hitter.
Yeah, he
hit 3,000 in each league or 3,000 altogether.
No, each league.
Oh wow!
If I'm not mistaken, he hit 3,000 in both leagues.
Wow.
Yeah, homie's a hitter. He's not a hitter. He a hitter. That means he said it don't matter what coast you on. It don't matter what time zone you in. I'm just swinging his bat, running the bases, baby. This is what I do. And I'm pretty sure he's in the Hall of Fame in his country and stuff like that, country of origin. And he's in the Hall of Fame over here too. That's when you know you're a supreme legend.
Yeah, he well, sorry. Let me be correct. He hit 1,278 in Japan before he came over. So he has almost
1,000.
Yeah. So if you tally that with what he hit in the majors, you're looking at about over 4,000 hits.
That's crazy. Just like this is crazy. And just like this is crazy right here in a good way. I don't mean crazy as in bad or strange. I mean like it's crazy that it took this long for it to happen. It's crazy.
Well, it's a gorgeous day here in Atlanta and a great day to make history. Jen Powell, the first female umpire to ever work a regular season Major League Baseball game. After all her hard work in the minor leagues, today is the day she gets her big league call here on August 9th, 2025. She'll be down at first base for game 1 of the double dip, third base for game 2, and then she will call the balls and strikes tomorrow for the series finale. Well, it's a gorgeous day here in Atlanta and a great day to make.
It was definitely a great moment for Jen Powell, as I talked about it last week. Running down her credentials. She worked hard from the beginning. Went through all the ranks. From college to little league to softball, semi, leagues to the different Southern Athletic leagues, South Atlantic leagues, the Midwest League, and I think this is just the beginning because in that game, Atlanta did beat Miami 7-1. As I said last week, there are currently eight other female umpires in the minor leagues right now, so this is just the beginning. To see more female umpires in the major leagues. I know we're still leaning towards the whole automatic umpire, robot part, but you're still gonna have the human aspect there as well.
Nice. Yeah, that was dope to have them young ladies had that young lady out there umping and stuff like that, running the game and running the show.
And also another one, I don't know if you didn't put it in the recap vid, Jay, but I'm gonna just say it for now also. Congratulations to the polar bear of the New York Mets, Pete Alonso, for breaking the home run record of 253 the other day for 253 home runs, which now gives him the lead for most career home runs with the Mets with 200. Now he's at 254. Now succeeding Darryl Strawberry, who was first for all those years. Strawberry is second with 252. David Wright is third at 242. Mike Piazza is fourth at 220, and Howard Johnson rounds out the top 5 at 192.
Hojo.
Yeah. Of course, the big thing with Pete Alonso is, the Mets honored him when he broke the record. The main thing we're going to see in the offseason, will the Mets spend the money to keep him as a Met, or is this his final season down there at Citi Field?
Nah, we're gonna spin the bag. He playing well. We're gonna keep him.
Because I'm just going to say to you, Jay, Paul Goldschmidt is a free agent after this year. So the other pinstripes they be watching. You take one of ours, we take one of yours.
It's not happening.
Remember, we had Darryl Strawberry in the 90s. We got him a championship too.
Yep.
David Cone.
Yep.
Y'all got them when they was washed. We had them in their prime.
Yet David Cone threw a perfect game when he was with us.
He was reliving his glory days with the Mets. We ain't gonna do that, Nate. There's nothing. I told you, there's no way you can have any Met slander that I just can't come back from, Paul.
I'm not gonna go that far with you today, but I got something for you if I want to throw it out there.
See how he'll bully y'all. See, you notice when he wears this black hoodie Nate is a bully. That's all I'm gonna say. But here's the next news topic that we have for the night.
So we're gonna run down just a few injury reports. Shane McClanahan will undergo season-ending arm surgery for the Tampa Bay Rays, so he'll be missing out for the next season, for the rest of the season. Keep going. I'm just gonna give a brief note about it. Also, Josh Hader's been placed on the IL with an elbow sprain, so that's a big hit for the Houston Astros, who were at 18 now. They got about 19, almost 20 players on the IL, but they do have some players returning. Lance McCullers returning, Yordan Alvarez is returning, along with a few other players that are going to help the Astros as they continue to try to hold on to that West Division lead over the Seattle Mariners.
Wait, you said they got 20 players injured?
Yeah, they've still been holding on to first place. Also, Nathaniel Lowe has been designated for assignment by the Washington Nationals. He was their first baseman. They had signed him they had got him from the Texas Rangers. His contract is up at the end of the season anyway, so he'll be moving on. I don't know if a team will try to sign him by the end of August, for the playoff run. He may end up on the playoffs. He could end up back in Texas. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. And you'll see him back in a Rangers uniform before the end of the season. Or, and I'm not just saying this because because I'm a Yankee fan, but because the fact that the Yankees have lost Goldschmidt, who knows how long he'll be out. He could get picked up by the Yankees for another veteran presence at first base, or Detroit could probably use him, and there's some other teams that may pick him up as well. So, we'll look to see if someone picks him up off of the designated. Also, other injuries were Michael King, unfortunately, who returned from San Diego Padres. He had just returned from a nerve issue, only to pitch 2 in the third innings, where he got 57 pitches and 6 outs before he had to go out with a knee injury. So he's back on the IL as well. Zach Eflin of the Arizona Diamondbacks is on the injured list, and Zach Eflin, and Zach. I think I mentioned Zach Gallen, and Zach Gallen as well is on the IL. So a few injuries to some teams who are in the playoff contention. So we'll see how that goes out for them. Best of luck. Hopefully they get back in time before the playoffs start.
Well, and listen to all the viewers out there that's watching right now. My apologies for eating, right here, smacking and stuff like that. But I'm just a hungry individual. I got to eat when I can. Right now I can, so I'm just gonna bust that down, bust a few pieces of chicken down.
While Jay continues to stuff his face, we're gonna also give a acknowledgement to the San Diego Padres, a team that I did say, a team I did say you may need to be on the lookout for after the trade deadline, who are now solely in first place in the National League West. 6 weeks ago, the Los Angeles Dodgers, who have been in first the entire season, were 9 games up. Now, after the Dodgers got swept by the Angels, the Padres took care of business with the Giants as well over the week, this past week. The Padres now sit atop first place. God, I can't talk today. The Padres sit atop first place in the National League West. And we'll talk about some games that later on that they got coming up this as they continue, because they actually will be playing each other coming up. So that's going to be a very interesting series this weekend coming up between the Dodgers and the Padres. To me, that's the series of the weekend. I know I'm getting a little bit ahead, but that's going to be the series of the weekend in my opinion.
All right. Nate, I greatly appreciate that. You give me a couple moments to bust down that chicken. With one thing you want to know is I love eating chicken. I love wingettes. My joint. I was eating them last night on Arthur's show. The Health and Wellness podcast. You know, Arthur gave me a few minutes so I could bust down some chicken. So up next, we got our shining stars. Now, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let Nate talk about his shining stars. But I feel like I was cheated this week with the shining.
Well, I'm gonna say I need to zoom in for it too, because I can't. My eyes is bad. I need to zoom in. I'm looking at this on my phone. The reason this week I'm just gonna acknowledge the players that were chosen this week by Major League Baseball is mainly because I have to start all over again. If you didn't notice or anybody paid attention, every week that I gave a shining star, I was going by position. So I would have like catcher one week, first baseman one week, shortstop the next week. So I was continuously going through each player throughout. But this week's shining stars for the Minnesota Twins, you had Luke Keyshaw, and then you got Isaac Cousins of the Milwaukee Brewers as the MLB players of the week. As you can see their stats there. Those are MLB decided. Isaac Collins really did have a great week with the Brewers. He jumped in, came in with the team, and didn't miss a beat with their offense that they have. So that's just added another piece to their team as they try to make this run. My concern with the Brewers, I'm just going to give a little bit on them. My concern with them is all of this is always good during the regular season, but when it comes playoff time, it just never seems to turn over to the playoffs. I mean, I don't know how long you're going to go with this team before you wonder, can they make it to the World Series? Quick on Isaac Collins through 281 at bat so far. He's at 81 hits, 8 home runs, batting .288 currently right now for the team. He's got 41 RBIs with an OPS of 833. So like I said, we'll have to see how that goes because history has shown with the Milwaukee Brewers that they're a really good regular season team, but that's it. So, because last year had to be a disappointment. That's why this series against the Mets, Jay, I'm not throwing shade, just telling the truth. This series against the Mets meant a lot to them because of the way they lost last year to the Mets in the playoffs. So, they're hoping that maybe next year they'll be able to pull out the same thing for them. So, I mean, this season they'll be able to correct those wrongs.
I'm not going to take it as no Mets slander. It's okay. It's all right. I already feel bad because I feel cheated. I feel cheated because you picked the MLB, plays of the week for the Shining Stars, and I already anticipated. So, what I'm saying, getting a new set of Shining Stars, so I know who to look for next week. You know what I'm saying? Again, you make me sound intelligent when I talk to other people about baseball because I just regurgitate the information that you give me through the podcast. So it makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Now, if I can't come in with a new set of players to talk about, they're gonna be like, bro, you got the players of the week from last week. I'm like, you got me. You got me.
Well, I'm also going to talk about the I think it should be next is what it should be the youth, right? The youngins.
Let me see. I think the next thing we got coming up, we got the Shining Stars. Now we have the Little League. Is that the schedule for it?
Right. Yeah. So that's what it should be.
Yes, sir.
So we got the Little League World Series that is going on currently right now that we're going all the way until the end of this month. Right now they had the opening round today. Tokyo, Japan defeated Shetsia 12-0. The Chinese Taipei defeated Chihuahua, Mexico 3-0. I'm reading from my own end. Don't worry about that. Irmo, South Carolina defeated Braintree, Massachusetts 13-0. You can leave that up because I'm going to go into tomorrow's games. And 6-12 South Dakota defeated Township, Pennsylvania 2-0 to advance. We got it's a double elimination for the Little League. So for the double elimination games, these are those who lost in that first round of play. They're going to be playing this week. Vancouver tomorrow. All these games will be on ESPN throughout the entire Little League World Series. Vancouver, Canada will play Barquisimeto. I might be saying it wrong. Forgive me if I say it wrong. Venezuela. You got Santa Cruz. Art, you can help me with this one if I got it wrong. Is it Orion, Panama?
Oh, Arthur, he logged off real fast.
Oh, okay. Well, we thank Arthur for joining. We got Las Vegas, Nevada going up against Bonnie Lake, Washington, and Fairfield, Connecticut going up against Honolulu, Hawaii in the double elimination tomorrow. You can catch all of those games starting at 12 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN.
So all of these teams lost once already, right?
Yeah.
It ain't looking good for the United States, boy.
You got the teams that lost once, and now they're playing teams that already go because you see some of those teams are 1-0. Like those are the teams that won in that first round, and then they'll be playing. So double elimination, you're out. The rest of them will go move on. So good luck to all the young kids out there. As we was talking about it last week, I think it was have fun. Just enjoy the moment. Don't get too caught up in everything else. Unfortunately, you got people who are making billions of dollars, and I'm not going to sit here and try to lecture, but making billions of dollars, and these kids just have fun out there. Don't worry about all the outside stuff. Just go out there and have fun and remember this moment.
Yeah. At this stage of the game, it's just to have fun, yo. Just have fun. Arthur, even though he checked out, he just left a comment, man. Make sure you check out Health and Wellness every Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. We want to say thank you, Arthur, for pulling up. We support one another on our platforms, on our programs and our shows, just not on the main podcast. Just like last night, Nate pulled up to the Health and Wellness. I asked him, was he going to do a wellness challenge? He said no.
I did.
And you know what?
You ain't gonna try to call me out on my night. I said what I said.
Oh no. I'm not trying to call you out. What I was going to say is I respect the honesty because, some people be like, yeah, I'm going to try, and knowing darn well they are not going to do it. So the fact that you was like, yeah, I'm not doing that, bro. I'm good. I'm chilling. I already walk 5 miles per hour for 15 miles. You know what I'm saying?
I'll let that slide. That could be the running joke. I misspoke. Okay, I misspoke.
Come on, son. You ain't misspeak. You just letting us know that you nice like that, yo.
Now I might have believed that. I might have believed that maybe not even 5 miles. Maybe if I said 4 miles or 3.5 when I was younger in my younger days, because I really was fast back in the days. But now,
if you would have said 3.5, I believe you because that's the speed I walk. I don't do 15 miles though. You know what I'm saying? Like I walk that maybe like a mile or whatever, then I get off the treadmill.
I do 3.5 until I reach. Usually it's around. I keep it simple because I try to do it, during lunch breaks or whatever. So I hit it, do 30 minutes, and usually by that time I hit 100 calories, which is and it's about a mile and some change, and that's it. And I get off and then back to it the next day, and then do a couple sit-ups when I get in the house. For me personally, I just don't like laying on no mats and no gyms.
Now, see, I don't. As long as I spray it down fairly well, I'm all right. And in my mind, I be wondering, do the whatever that chemical is at Planet Fitness, right? Sometimes in my mind, I'm thinking it's just food coloring and water, and it's a placebo effect in my mind. It's not really disinfecting anything. It's just a gimmick, yo. I might be wrong, but hey, I'm probably not. But, all going on with the Little League Baseball World Series.
Yeah, that's just a bracket. You can zoom in and just so you can see how that bracket, especially with the double elimination. I don't know how far you can zoom in on it though.
I can get about right here. I'll just get into the United States bracket.
Yeah, there's this United States bracket. So what they have is you have the United States bracket at the top, and then you have the international one. And so, of course, the winners of each bracket will play each other for the Little League World Series overall champion. And so, it's going to be a great tournament. It's always an exciting tournament. And the one thing I like about it is the one thing that definitely does happen is a lot of these players that you see, in this Little League World Series, you will see most of them. You will see in the major leagues in the next coming years, in the next decade or so, the next 5, 6, 7 years. You'll see these players in the minors getting drafted. You're like, wait, that name sounds familiar. You remember them from the Little League World Series. So it's going to be it's a great series. It's fun. Like I said, it's a great atmosphere. If you live anywhere near where they're having it at, there's free admission. So go out and check a game out.
Wait,
The
it's
Little League.
$3?
Yeah, if they have a website, I think it's littleleagueworldseries.com or something like that.
Dope.
You can go on the website and you can even look at the play. They even have player pictures, the player photos and profiles, so you'll see each player on each team, for both the United States teams and for the international teams.
Yeah, that's dope, yo. That's definitely the wave, man. But nah, thank you for giving a shout out to the youth, man. Letting people know they need to turn to the Little League World Series and stuff like that, so people can find out who's gonna be the next upcoming MLB stars 10 years from now, yo. And I'm not gonna front, them kids be hitting, yo. Them kids be swinging. It'd be a good game. When you see them kids on the pitching mound, they be locked in, looking like professionals. Like, all right, little dude, you can probably strike me out. I ain't gonna hold you. But we have to come down to let you guys know about the upcoming games to look out for and whatnot. It wouldn't be an MLB show without us letting you know what games are coming on. So
right, Good, Jay.
No, I was saying as I pull up the schedule.
As Jay pulls up the schedule, as I've already voiced my opinion on it. The series of the weekend. This weekend series, to me, is San Diego versus the Dodgers. That's, to me, the series. I mean, a lot of the games have importance, but San Diego and LA, I think, is going to be the most exciting series. San Diego always gives LA everything they got. Right now, LA already has Clayton Kershaw starting. Their veteran. This may be going into his final season with the Dodgers. He'll be starting on the mound for them as they play in Dodger Stadium. It's going to be a good game. The Padres always give LA their best. Sometimes it's just unfortunate that the Padres can't close out certain games like they did earlier this year, where they had them on the ropes but couldn't close the game out. So now that the Padres are now the team in first, we're going to see how LA responds back. Other games include the Yankees and the Cardinals, two of the most storied franchises, playing each other this weekend as well in St. Louis. You also have other big implications. You got the Seattle Mariners, who will be visiting Citi Field in Queens. They play the New York Mets for this weekend. Of course, that'll be Kyle Riley, bringing him and his league leading 45 home runs to Shea Stadium. I'm gonna say Shea Stadium because I like that name better than Citi Field. Always have. We have Sean Manaea going for the Mets Friday, while Luis Castillo will be going for the Seattle Mariners. And then also another big game will be Texas Rangers against the Toronto Blue Jays. Of course, you go back with the history of them. That goes back to the playoffs maybe almost 10 years ago between, which started with a whole brawl that broke out and everything. So those are the series for this weekend. Like I said, LA and San Diego will be headlining that. Now, next week's schedule, while Jay runs off somewhere, I can just go on my own. Important games that we'll have for next week's schedule. The Houston Astros will be visiting the Detroit Tigers at Comerica Park in Detroit. We'll also have a series to look at. The Seattle Mariners will continue their East Coast road swing as they'll go down to Philadelphia to play the Philadelphia Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. Then the American League East Division rivals, the New York Yankees, will go up against the Tampa Bay Rays as they visit Tampa, Florida, at George Steinbrenner Field. Because as you know, the Tampa Bay Rays are currently playing in the New York Yankees minor league field because due to due to the destruction that happened from the hurricane in Tampa last year. So they're not currently playing in their own actual stadium. They're playing in a minor league stadium. Same thing as the Athletics as they wait to move to the Las Vegas. Also, the Texas Rangers will go up against the Kansas City Royals at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Division rival, the Brewers continue their play against division rivals as they will go to Wrigley Field to play the Chicago Cubs. And that I'll say that rounds out the top games for the week. The top games for going all the way until our next show, which will be next Thursday. Tune into that show again, which will be normally between 9:30 and 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. As Jay will always tell you, we got Arthur who plugged the show for his health and fitness. That's on Wednesdays from 10:30. Then we have Moments with Unc on Mondays as well, 9:30, 10 Eastern Standard Time. Of course, and our main show, which is the virtual market, the virtual man cave, which is the OG show with all of us on the show, from myself to Jay to Unc to Arthur, Corey, who makes special appearances, to Troy, and of course Leo. Shout out to the entire team, the entire squad. We all we make this entire engine run together as a team. So look out for that Saturday. Be entertained. If you ain't 9 out of 10, you ain't got nothing better to do with yourself on Saturday. So come join us Saturday evening. Have a couple laughs, sit back, kick back, do what you do, whatever vice you use, kick back and just chill and enjoy and laugh, and chime in if you need to. Come into our YouTube, make a comment, and then also if you ever decide you want to be a guest on the show, reach up. I don't know, Jay has it down at the bottom, but you can always reach out to us if you want to possibly be a guest on the show or got any suggestions, anything for any of our shows that maybe you got comments about. Please send that information. Let us know, because we only get better by our viewers. That we only get better as well with our viewers who watch these shows. Like, comment, and subscribe. Also, donations go to our virtual man cave Cash App as well.
The Cash App is $ virtual man cave. And again, we need those donations. Nate, man, thank you for that wonderful drop plug-in of all the shows and everything that we got going on with the network. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I was being greedy. I was stuffing my face. I believe I have a super active metabolism. I have to eat, no joke, I get hungry all the time. Constantly stay hungry, so you'll catch me grazing, snacking, eating something, you know what I'm saying, majority of the day. Like, if I'm awake, I'm eating, like, for real. And
also,
I've been blessed now with being weak.
Also, we also have some other shows that's coming in town. Don't want to speak too early, but we also got other members from the Man Cave, who also have some shows coming. To be determined as well. So this is not it. This is just the beginning. We're kind of like a version of the MCU universe or whatever, or like the Bloodline in WWE. But this is just this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. This is Act 1. This is Act 1.
I kind of want to put out there, right, Nate. Even though I help, narrate the show with you and stuff like that, so that's why I can do the productions and stuff. Add some funny little ad libs here and there. I'm gonna put it out there on your show, just to put it out there in the universe. We might need to do like a 30-minute wrestling show, bro. Like, we are the true wrestling fans of the cave, yo. I am much more knowledgeable about wrestling than I am about baseball. I can give a lot more funny content orientation, and it is something that honestly both of us still watch. I still go to live events. I want to say maybe about 2 months ago when they had Raw out here, I went to go see Raw. So yeah, this is what I do. This is what we do, y'all. Don't judge us. We know wrestling is fake, but we also know everything on the internet is fake, and reality TV is fake, but y'all still like it and love it. So don't let us talk about wrestling.
It's predetermined outcomes. That's what it is. But the choreography and everything, those athletes, remember, they put their blood, sweat, and tears into that. There's something for this. A lot of them, it was their passion since day one. They come from family roots. And I'll say too, and when I say athletes, yes, I mean athletes, because a lot of those performers, entertainers in sports entertainment of wrestling, some of them were actual amateur wrestlers first. A lot of them were football players, basketball players, gymnastics. before they before they got into this world. So it's not as if they haven't played these sports as well. You see some of them as celebrity games, and they go out there and they play and they show out, because they were players at one time, but things happen, and then whether they tore their knee or life went another direction for them. So or they gave it a try and it didn't work out. So they're like, hey, what do I do next?
And for the ones who are just straight pure wrestlers, I mean the pure entertainers who weren't, played another sport. They're still athletes, because I don't think the average person can stand on a turnbuckle and do a moonsault, can do an elbow, can do a frog splash, can do a flying elbow. Can you be smart enough and brave enough to whiplash somebody off the turnbuckles and come back out, hit the ropes and know how to leapfrog over somebody, do a tuck and roll? Can you fall properly? Okay. All of that contact that we see is real. And I was watching the segment in the program that Stone Cold was talking. I want to say wrestlers are some of the hardest working athletes in the sports world. Okay. If you think about it, how much they travel, how much they're away from home, how much they have to not only put on a good show, and for them to have to put on a good show, they have to train. So you don't have the consistent same training facility everywhere you go, city to city. You don't have, and I'll just say boxing or MMA, you don't have a training camp. It is pretty much just you and your wrestling buddies. But for the most part, it's up to you to make sure you get the job done. You're lifting right, you're eating right, you're getting enough rest, you're taking care of yourself and whatnot. So again, shout out to all the current, professional wrestlers. Shout out to the amateur wrestlers. Shout out to the collegiate and Olympic wrestlers, yo. We understand what you guys go through, but we are just, at this moment talking about the professional performance athletes of the WWE and all the other professional, small, wrestling athletes out there. So we appreciate y'all. We thank you. We keep you thoroughly entertained. And I want to give a special shout out to the female wrestling athletes, yo, from like the athletes of like Sable, who used to do it back in the day, who was wonderful, to the women like China, who was also wonderful, who opened the door for the current ladies right now who are doing just as, I want to say, they're headlining shows better than men in certain situations and, in certain matches. So just shout out to the ladies, because y'all kicking butt and y'all are beautiful. Oh my gosh, y'all are beautiful.
Yeah, you came a long way from just being valets on the sideline, and from the Miss Elizabeths and Sensational Sherry, who actually was a wrestler back then in the days too. You only had the Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young, and them from back in the days. Wendy Richter was a wrestler for a while. But you had a lot of valets at one point. Terry Reynolds, before she came over and started wrestling with her and Goldust. Well, he was Dustin Rhodes when he was back in the WCW days as Alexandra York. Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson, and such forth. And the type of matches they used to have back in the day, especially in the 90s. Matches for 18 to 36-year-old, bra and panty matches and whatever.
Lingerie matches and whatnot, right. Like kind of dehumanizing and degrading women. And now you see them and seeing what they're doing. It's like, man, listen, I'm proud of it. I'm happy.
And it sucks for those who were actually really good wrestlers who had to go through that too as well. Like the Ivories, Jazz, Jacqueline, who had to be caught in the middle of that. Shout out to Trish, because at first she was a fitness model. I know she was always a fitness, like in the fitness and stuff, and then she went from just being a valet. And her and Lita were like the faces of that when they turned over along with Victoria. And the rest of them to now, you got the Tiffany Strattons, the Bianca Belairs, the Jade Cargills, Naomi's, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Asuka, even the AEW Britt Baker and Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné, used to be Sasha Banks in WWE. You got Athena, you got a lot of them out there. There's too many names, but like say they've come a long way, and it's great to see.
I just want to say shout out to the pioneers who paved the way for these ladies, for these young ladies to have the opportunity now to, like I said, showcase headline pay-per-view events, go in there and have matches that are just as good as their male counterparts, when back in the day, like you said, they were being exploited. okay, or they were being marginalized, or they weren't able to showcase their full potential and their full talent. So thank you to the pioneers who opened the door. Salute to the ones that are doing it right now, creating a platform for another group of young ladies to take it even further. So shout out to them. But Nate, I'm telling you, we might have to just think about doing that, because we love wrestling, man. It could just be a little 30-minute top, when they got a topic. We can only do it like when they got pay-per-view or something like that, when there's something important going on.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a little short one. Maybe we'll do one on pay-per-view nights, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, we could just talk about the matches, highlight, and what's so important about it.
So now we wrapping up. Final segment.
You know what it is. One of my favorite ones.
So this is the video that was going to be shown last week, but due to some technical difficulties, we weren't able to show it last week. So this is Coach Dan blew it, and this is just some tips and tips for infielders out here. Jay's going to play a little snippet of the video, for those people out there. So here's the video.
What's up? Coach Dan Blewett here, and today we're going to talk about the prep step. So the prep step is something infielders and outfielders use to get them ready on the balls of their feet and ready to react as fast as they possibly can. So when we're trying to react to something, we always react best on the balls of our feet, changing directions. None of that happens on your heels. So the goal of a good prep step is to get you, the ball player, onto your toes, ready to where as soon as the ball hits the bat, you're off. Infielder, and you can see how he's ready before the pitch. He's watching the pitcher as the pitcher goes into his windup. Boom, he hops onto both the balls of both of his feet. Here's another infielder. He doesn't hop usually onto the ball of the feet. That's called a plyometric step. It's something that you'll see basketball players or volleyball players or anyone do before they jump. They're sort of like setting themselves onto the ball of their feet so they can immediately touch and go, creeping in with the pitcher, and then they sort of hop to both feet so they can, as soon as they hit the ground, basically, is when the ball would kind of hit the bat. Now they can react as fast as they possibly can. All right. So I hope this video helped. The prep step is an important piece. Catching the ball standing up or having to dive for it, or diving for it and catching it rather than not catching it at all. All right. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend, like it, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Hey, that right there gets no better, man. I like how he gave a shout out to the basketball and volleyball players about that hop step. But yeah, that's very, that's what I love about, the fundamentals of all sports. They all pretty much have the same base. You know what I'm saying? You have to have that triple threat, what I call a triple threat, or the ready position. Each sport, it looks a little bit different. Infielders, you see how your hands are just pretty much up like this, because you got to be ready to react and maybe scoop up the ball from a grounder or catch it if it's a line drive. Basketball, it's the same position, except my hands are open. My hands are out like this. Football, same thing, except my hands are coming up like this, so I could just push somebody or to be able to react, though. But Nate, that was a great, wonderful video, man.
Yeah, I think it's an important video because, a lot of times, everybody just sees the finished product. They see the highlights, they see the plays, but all those all the plays you see in these recaps every week, there's techniques that go behind it to get that good to be able to make these plays. It's not just, you even when you're naturally born, even if you're naturally talented, there's still some technique and some practice that goes into being the best baseball player that you can be. So shout out to Coach Dan Blewett on that video. You can catch him on YouTube. If you want to check out any more content, also all videos that was used, courtesy of MLB that we found these videos for. So thank everybody for joining us again. I know we were kind of late tonight, and we've already passed the midnight hour. We're already into Friday tonight, but thank everybody for joining us. Jay, any closing words before we close out?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you again. Just run that back. Just a wonderful thank you to everybody who tapped in, tuned in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube. Hit the notification bell so you can know about all the wonderful shows, man. And I just want you guys to come back on Saturday. We get to do it again. If I have any closing words for the night, it'll have to be, we become what we think about, so think wisely, yo. What you got for us, Nate?
I'm going to go a little cliched, and I'm going to just say, Live in the moment. Like I was saying about the Little League World Series, just live in the moment. You know, worry about tomorrow when it gets here.
Couldn't say better than that. And on that note, family, we check y'all out next week. But before then, we better see you on Saturday, yo. Peace. Yeah, I swear, Nate is mad fast when we say we out of here. I still got to end the show, and he's just gone.